we're like tiny spiritual particles, and we've come into this material world out of our free will, out of our choice to explore and see what this world is like. And pretty much we're in a repeated cycle of birth and death, attempting the same things over and over. It's called chewing the chewed. And we are just becoming frustrated one life after the other because we can't find real satisfaction. I think there's a like Rolling Stones song like that, like I can't get no satisfaction. So that's what this world is kind of like. No matter how hard we try, we just can't become completely happy. We might be temporarily happy moment to moment, but it doesn't last. It's kind of like up and down. It's always going up and down. So we have to kind of understand that the reason why we're not happy is because we're not connecting to our source. It's kind of like you have a guitar, and a guitar has like 6 strings, and let's say you were to like rip out one of the strings and just like throw it onto the ground. And so what value does that string have all of a sudden? It practically has no value. It's practically useless, just a string lying on the ground. What are you going to do with that? But as soon as you take that string and you connect it to the guitar, all of a sudden that string has so much value because it's connecting to the whole. So in the same way, we are spiritual souls, and we are right now disconnected from the Supreme. And if we learn to connect to the Supreme, then again we have value. Again we become like fire, like we're sparks of fire, and we're all coming from the same flame. But if a spark of fire kind of like drifts off, it dries up, it becomes like ash. So we have to connect ourselves back to the flame, and then we can ignite, we can become fire again, and we can light up the world. So that's our duty, that's our business, that's our objective. We have to light up the world with the knowledge that we're given. This is Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness means that you're conscious of the supreme absolute truth in all respects, in all times, 24/7. And so that's what this verse is trying to teach us. Rasoham apsukanteya, that Krishna is saying, I am the taste of water. So every time you take a sip of water, you can say to yourself, Rasoham apsukanteya. You can think of Krishna every single time. Prabhasmi sasi suryaho. He's the light of the sun and the moon. So in this way, you can start to see the world connected to Krishna. And this is the goal. This is Krishna consciousness. Sometimes we're kind of like put into a situation where it's really hard to see Krishna. Let's say like you're working a 9-to-5 job and you have a boss, and that boss, you got to really like kiss up to him, you know, you got to like really make sure to like please him and satisfy him. And he invites you to like a baseball game, you know, hey, it's like, hey, come on, let's go to this baseball game. And you're thinking, man, how am I going to think of Krishna at a baseball game? Right? But then at the end of this verse, it says, Pranava sarva vedeshu shabdake purusham nishu, that I am the ability in man. So let's say you're at that baseball game, someone gets like a home run, or like, catches the ball like very extraordinarily. You think at that moment, wow, that's Krishna right there. That's Krishna acting through that person. He's the ability in man. So actually, practically, you can see Krishna at every single moment. You just got to have Krishna consciousness. And it takes some purification. Lord Chaitanya says, Cheto darpana marjanam bhava mahadavagini navapanam, that we have to cleanse the dust in our hearts. And when we cleanse the dust in our hearts, we can begin to start seeing the world much better. Just like if you open up attic, like let's say all houses, they have attics. And sometimes people don't go into their attics for like 10 years, 15 years. And let's just say all of a sudden they go to their attic. The attic, it kind of looks like everything is perfect as soon as you step in. You know, the furniture is there, the boxes are there. But as soon as you just start doing a little bit of dusting, you'll see so much dust come up. So it's kind of like that. We might think we're like perfect right now, everything is okay. Like just like when you go out and do things like book distribution, trying to give someone a meditation book, they say, "Nah, I'm good." You know, that's like the common phrase, "I'm good. I'm all right." But they would see that if they did some dusting, that actually were not good. Even devotees in this mission, they consider themselves still the most fallen, even after doing so much purification. That's their mood, because we've been in this world for I don't know how many years, and now we have this great opportunity to come out through the grace of Srila Prabhupada and his teachings.